Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epiktek. Welcome back. I've done a little bit of work while you were gone. What do you think? I thought, what do you need more than sugarcane? I mean, I'm going through a lot of paper here and there, so I made a lot of sugarcane. This stuff is great. It grows so fast. I actually wanted to show you just how fast it grows. Oh, it's, you know what? It's the middle of the night. Why did I start this video in the middle of the night? I don't know. Good morning, everybody. So let's go take a look at this over here. So I plant, oh my goodness, this is not where I want a tree. There we go. Lots of wood. All right. So I planted these at the same time that I planted these. I kind of redid this area a little bit. So in the same amount of time that these two have grown, all of this has grown in these crop sticks. 13. Well, I mean, it's not entirely fair, slightly more in one than the other, but you get the idea. This is not efficient at all. So I'm not even going to keep these here. I'm going to go plant them over here. Actually, I'm not going to, because I don't have any more sand over here, but it doesn't matter, because I get plenty from this for now. Later on, we're going to do a whole bunch of automation and that kind of thing, and it's going to make a big difference. By the way, I also ran around and grabbed at least 2 of every animal. Not quite up to 7 of the clean ones, but you know what I mean. So we need to do a few little upgrades around. One of the things we need to do is I actually had to move my cobble out of this drawer because this can only handle 8 stacks. These right here can handle 8 stacks of any one, or well, of any 4 things. These up here can handle 32 of any one thing. And then there's a drawer that's in between that's 16 of 2 different things, but I tend to either use one or the other. However, there is a way to increase something. So over here, you can see that my spruce wood is up to 8 by 32. I'm maxed out. I'm not going to be able to add any more spruce wood in there. So I can either make another one of these basic drawers and put it up there, which I might do, or I can upgrade this one to be able to hold more. And I figure, hey, let's do that. It'll be fun. So in storage drawers, there's all kinds of different upgrades. Storage upgrade 1 requires, believe that's obsidian, iron, gold. Each one of these is kind of the next step up. Emerald makes tons of sense. We can get emeralds whenever we need them. So I'm just going to mainly make emerald upgrades because they're twice the value of a diamond. It's kind of backward in this mod pack because diamonds are still hard to get. Emeralds really aren't because you can trade in all these crops. So I'm going to do emerald. First, we're going to need an upgrade template, which is fairly simple. It's just sticks and any kind of drawer. Well, I've got these basic drawers made out of birch that I'm probably never going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That right there. Wow. That was pretty good. Okay. Now I've got plenty of those guys. Just need a couple of emeralds and some sticks. I got a bunch of sticks here. And there's my storage upgrade 5. This will multiply the space by 32. So I can have 256 stacks of wood in there. Not going to need that, but hey. Also, if you shift right click, you can pull the upgrades out, but only if you don't need them there, if you know what I mean. So I would have to remove some spruce wood, then I could remove this. Another upgrade I want to do is getting myself a hammer. So hammers are great, and we finally went to the Nether and got ourselves the cobalt and ardite that I need to make this hammer. So let's take a quick look. A hammer requires 2 large plates, a head, and a tool rod. Let's take a look at what the stats say about that. So cobalt gives a mining speed of 12 for a pick, actually. If you go to, I think it's pick that's 12. Yeah. But on a hammer, it's always decreased, and you'll see why in a minute. So it's 4.8 for cobalt. However, if we were to make that same hammer out of ardite, the mining speed would be 1.4. So you might be asking, well, then why did I make my handle out of ardite instead of cobalt? Well, ardite has a durability modifier of 1.4, while cobalt has a durability modifier of 0.9 on the handle. So it's going to be more durable with an ardite handle, and it's going to be faster with a cobalt head. Make sense? Good. So then extras are the plates. And I've chosen one plate to be made out of cobalt because I get this thing called lightweight, which makes it go faster. The other one is made out of paper. Paper I chose because when you use it as an extra, you gain writable, which means we can put one more modifier on there after the fact. And we'll get to modifiers in a second. We'll put that book back and let's grab this hammer. Now, if you've never done anything with hammers before, let me show you how they work. They're pretty cool. I'm just going to hop down in here. We'll pick a random spot down here. Actually, I haven't really looked around in here much, have I? Oh, yeah, somewhat. So a hammer, you can see that it's kind of showing the outlines of what I'm about to break. It'll break all of that in one shot. So for quick mining, and that was fast too. I mean, that was actually, now that I think about it, the speed 3.65 versus 13.4. Okay, so my pick is definitely still faster. But I was able to break through that pretty quickly, and it broke a lot more than just a little bit. You get what I'm saying. So the next thing I want to do is start adding some modifiers to this. I now get 4. I would normally get 3, but because of the writable, I get 4. And there's all kinds of modifiers I can throw on there. So let's take a look at what options we have for modifiers. Haste, which is just adding in redstone, we've already talked about. And then there's luck. Now, I've already got luck on my pick, and I'm going to keep with that. What I want to do with my hammer, however, is do silk touch. Now, silk touch requires a silky jewel. So let's jump into what that's going to do. Now, or how to make that. I think you probably know what silk touch does. If you don't, it means that you pick up the item as is. So instead of getting cobblestone, I would actually get stone. And when it comes to things like diamond, I'm going to actually get the diamond ore, not diamonds back. And this is important for a lot of different reasons. So let's take a look at this silky jewel. Silky jewel is an emerald surrounded by silky cloth, which is string around a gold ingot. Well, that's easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And one of these guys. I didn't want to. And we've got ourselves a silky jewel. Excellent. So we just toss that on the hammer. And by the way, you can put it in any one of these slots. And now we've got a silk touch hammer. Let's go test this out really quick so you can see the difference. We'll go right here. Oh, well, look at that. There was actually, I swear I didn't know that was there. So the cool thing about this is I now have charged Certus quartz ore instead of charged Certus quartz. With a regular tool, I would get 1 Certus quartz from breaking this. But if I take that same item and I put it into, say, a quartz grindstone, I'm going to get 1.9. Or better yet, if I put it into a sag mill, I will get 2 charged Certus quartz, a small chance of getting dust, and cobblestone back. I think we want to get into sag mills sooner than later, don't we? So luck is no longer applicable. I don't even think you can add it. Sharpness is for weapons. A diamond will give it extra durability, a minor stat increase overall. A mining level increase is unnecessary because we're already maxed out. An emerald will give it a 50% base durability increase. Wow. Fortified is good for low-end tools because it increases the mining level, so we don't want to use that. And you can use this with just about anything. Reinforced is just more durability. I think we're already at pretty good durability. A lot of these are more for weapons than anything else. Here we go. Height and width. Now, this will actually increase, so right now our hammer will do a 3x3 area. If I add 1 height and 1 width, it will actually become a 4x4 area or a 5x5 area. I'm not sure, but one of those. I've never used it. So mending moss is great. Mending moss will actually slowly repair the tool, similar to the using wood, but without having to use wood. And it also uses XP that you pick up to do it. I've never used this new version of it. It didn't used to do anything with XP. So we might have to play with that just to see. Blasting we do not want to use. You actually will destroy the stuff you're hitting. Glowing. This is one of my favorites. So we're going to have to do this one. However, this is going to require something else. And this is completely new to me. What? Embossment adds traits of another part. Traits are equal to swapping the part. The embossment is final and can't be changed. Requires no modifier. Oh. We might have to look into that. It requires all 3 silky jewels. It requires all 3 slime crystals. That's not a problem. I think we have those. And a block of gold. But still, that would be nice. So direct is another thing I really like. Teleports mined things directly into your inventory. So we take a vibrant large plate and we can just add it in as a modifier. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we have 3 more modifiers available to us. I want one of them to be glowing, and I'd like one to be direct, but I might be able to not use a modifier for that. Petrimore momentum from the types of material that we use. Petrimore means that it actually will occasionally use up some of the stone you gather to fix the tool. Momentum means that the longer you keep going, the faster it goes. So we may need to play with that later. Okay, let's start off with some healing. Since we don't actually have any wood in this, I want to be able to have this thing heal on its own over time, but it requires vines, I believe. Or was it moss? A ball of moss. Oh, okay. Mossy cobblestone. So we can make moss stone from cobblestone and vines. The trick here is getting vines. I haven't seen any vines. So if and when we find vines, we'll be able to get that. Have you guys seen vines? No. See, this is why we need to do a lot more searching around. So I'm going to need a faster way of traveling. I think it's time we get into a brand new mod that I've only just barely mentioned, and that's extra utilities. So extra utilities adds all kinds of little things, just a bunch of random. And there's all kinds, I mean, it's just a bunch of random stuff. So it's the one that allows us to compress cobblestone. It has a trash can, which is really handy if you don't want to be dumping stuff in a hole and hoping it works or hoping it goes away. But it also adds in, well, we already used the golden lasso, but here we have something called the chicken wing ring, flight of the majestic beast. And what this does is it slows down your fall. I don't really care about that. What I actually want is the next step up. That will create us a ring of the flying squid. Now, that in and of itself, not too hard to get, actually. As a matter of fact, we can grab this ring pretty quick and easy. We have everything we need. So, golden lasso with a chicken inside of it. Let's do that. Come here, chickens. So the chicken wing ring. There we go. Now, here's the issue with this. You'll notice that it says uses 1 GP. It stands for grid power. And we don't have any grid power. So we're going to need to do something about that. Let me just put a couple of things away real quick. So grid power is generated using mills. So if I do this, these are the different mills available. So a lava mill is something that we can create that will actually generate power through just being near lava. And there's one that wants moving water, and there's one that's wind. I personally like the fire mills the most. So one way or another, we're going to have to pick one of these mills, or there's actually two different panels. So there's the lunar panel and the solar panel. And we're going to have to start with probably one of those. Because if we take a look at the mills, they require something called stone burnt, which can only be made in a resonator, which requires GP to run. So let's go ahead and get one of these made real quick. Now, if you remember, we get these resonating stone crystals when mining out redstone. Hopefully we'll have enough. There we go. So now we have a resonator, and we can stick this probably over here somewhere. And you see it says grid power 1 of 0. That's how much it requires. It says grid is overloaded. So we need to get some kind of grid generating or grid power generating thing. So there's something called a manual mill, which actually puts out quite a bit, but you have to stand there and run it. Then there's the solar panels and lunar panels. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a set of solar panels. Oh, it's polished stone. So polished stone is 4 stone bricks, and then 4 bricks. There we go. Luckily you get 3 of them. So let's go ahead and set these somewhere. It doesn't really even matter where you put them. I think you can even put them inside. Can I put them like... Whoops. Didn't like that. I'll just put them here. There we go. So now we should see that there is actually power running here. We'll make 10 of those. Huh? 8? Why do we not... I need 8 GP? Well, phooey. Still not enough. So I guess I'm going to make 3 more. No power used or generated. Oh, because it doesn't have clear sight to the sky. So let's go ahead and put these out here. Why not? I just want this to work. There we go. Now it's actually making some stone burnt. So we have 8 GP. This thing only uses 1. So as long as this is in our hand, I believe that we will fall at a slower rate. Or not. Oh, there we go. So if I hold down the space key, it'll make me fall slower. That makes sense. I'll try it from here. See how far we can fly. That's pretty cool. It's not very fast, though. Hey, buddy. I need to capture you. Don't swim away from me. Thank you. So we're going to need 2 diamonds for that. How many do we have? We have none. So I'm going to have to run down and get some more diamonds. And in order to get the most out of my diamonds, I'd really like to have the best luck. We might as well get it at least up to 60. Because then we still have one more modifier if we want to either speed up the haste or increase the luck. And I'm off to grab myself a couple of diamonds. Well, we don't have to go down the stairs the hard way anymore. One. Okay, so we've got our 2 diamonds. Wasn't very lucky with my luck, but that's okay. I'm going to grab the rest of these with my hammer. So now these, I actually can almost guarantee getting at least 2. So if I look at my uses, I can see that in the sag mill, you will automatically get 2, plus a 25% chance of a third one. Plus there's actually additional, you can add even more to that with these grinding balls, but we'll get into those later. So this is the recipe to get an ender pearl. In this mod pack anyway. And now let's see. The chicken wing, plus all these other things, is the ring of the flying squid. Unfortunately, it requires 16 grid points, and we don't have 16 grid points. As a matter of fact, even having this in my inventory is overloading the grid. Get those processing there. So I want to get myself some more, and I like the fire mills. Now, right now, we have, well, we normally have 9 grid points. We need to get at least 7 more. Each one of these generates 4, so if we get 2 of these fire mills, we should be good. Now, fire mills require stone burnt, a resonating redstone crystal, and a nether brick fence. I think we have nether brick fence somewhere. Do we not? We might have to run out and grab some from the nether. We're also going to need to get some more... oh, and the sun just went down. Let's fix that. Okay, so now we just need 2 nether brick fences and we'll have everything we need. Gotta love them nether fortress chests. Of course there's a diamond in there. You know what? Let's grab our nether fences and get out of here. Get a couple extra, why not? Oh, while I'm here, I want to show you something. So with the hammer, one thing to be aware of is that if you target something easier to break, you'll find that it won't break the items that have a higher mining level. So always aim for, well, it's kind of hard to say because, for example, here, these have the same mining level, but they have a different hardness. So it actually takes longer to break them if you aim at the item itself. So you kind of have to judge and play around with it, figure out what you want to aim at when you're breaking stuff. Also, yay, home. So 1 and 2. So let's go find a nice little spot to have a ever-burning fire. So right here. Why not? And what I'm going to do... I'll put a couple of bits of netherrack down there. We're going to light them on fire. And then we're going to set our fire mills right on top of them. Hey, don't do that. Oh. Oh, I hope I don't light the house on fire. Hopefully. But I might constantly light the grass on fire. That could be a minor problem. Well, we might need to do something about that later. But for now, let's play with our new toy. Okay, so right now that ring's not going to do anything for me because we don't have enough grid power. However, when the sun is up, we can fly. Now, it is a limited amount of flight, but combine this with the slime boots, and travel is no longer a problem. Woohoo, baby. Uh-oh. That's weird. What happened? 0 grid power? Now I've got grid power. Did it unload my area or something? But that hasn't been a problem in the past. Or maybe it has been. Maybe I need to keep that chunk loaded. You know what? That actually is what the problem is. Oh, and my house is burning down. I should probably do something about that, huh? Well, let's, maybe this isn't the best place for this. Okay. Looks like the fire put itself out. So, we got 2 issues with that location. 1, I burned my house down. 2, that chunk is not always loaded. So what we need to do is actually go and find out where that chunk, the always loaded chunk is. I know approximately where it is. Actually, I'm going to take my horse. Come on, horsey. So I was doing some gathering and some exploring, and my daughter was watching me. And she decided that I very much needed to have a horse. So now I have a horse, and I'm kind of glad I did it, because this turns out to be a really fast horse. And for these little short trips like this, it's very good. Now, I've got to remember approximately where the start is. I think it was around here somewhere. Don't go wandering too far, horsey. Light those guys, and then... There we go. And now I should be able to... Right. Because even those aren't actually enough. Where'd my horse go? Wow, he just decided to take off, didn't he? Where'd you go, you silly horse? In the world did my horse go? There we go. Now I'm within range. Ah, there we go. And there's my horse. Wow, you wandered a long way. Okay. So I'm in range of both of the grid powers. And hopefully when we get all the way back to the base over here, we'll find that we still have that power. We do. Okay, so I did actually place those in an always loaded chunk, I think. So the story is where you initially load the game is always loaded no matter how far away you get. And I think the last time I tested this, it was actually, I was starting in that initial chunk, so I was able to wander a long ways. And I never really thought about the fact that those chunks needed to be loaded. The rest of the game is only loaded when you're nearby it. So the fact that I still have power is good news. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. And I just got out of range of the village, so I don't have those solar-powered bits. And it just loaded it back in. Okay, excellent. We are good to go. One thing to be aware of with all of these mills is you can't just make 1,000 of them. I mean, you can, but you start getting less than optimal efficiency. I can have up to 10 of these at full efficiency, and then I'll get 40 GP for the fire mills. We need a name for the horse. I normally call my horses Zeno. And by the way, if you can give me the full meaning of why I like to call my animals Zeno, then you'll get 100 epic points. That's right. Dude, why does he hate this area? Hey, Zeno. What are you doing? There's a few other things in extra utilities that I want to get into. There is something called a builder's wand, which is really handy for building because you can actually tell it to like place down a whole bunch of blocks at once, not one at a time. We've already used the redstone clock. It's very nice. I should warn you ahead of time, there are some things in this mod that are simply not doable in this mod pack because they require monsters. I've tried to eliminate as many as possible, and if there is something in here that you really want to do and you can't do it without killing a monster, let me know and I'll find another way to do it. I've tried to add that in already, but they may not all be there. The other thing I want to look at right away is this bag of holding. 6 gold ingots, 2 chests, and a magical wood, which is a bookshelf and gold, and 4 XP. So let's do that really quick. And we've got a bag of holding. This thing is a little OP. There you go. Wherever you go, you can have all that extra inventory space. I know, right about now you're saying, why didn't you tell me this a long time ago? Because it's fun. We don't really need to have the storage crates. But this is, you know, I don't know. This bulk bag of holding is kind of ridiculous. I thought about completely removing it from the mod pack. So, if you want to be hardcore serious about this mod pack, do not use the golden bag of holding. I, however, am going to use it. Well, I just went on a little bit of a mining trip, and I got a whole bunch of great stuff, and it was a lot of fun just using the ring of squid power to get from level to level down in the mines. But I didn't find any more redstone resonating, whatever they are. Resonating redstone crystals. I thought, you know, I wonder if there's a way to make those. Yeah, there totally is. So an ender shard, which is an ender pearl and a glass cutter, sticks and iron. This is easy. So we'll grab, we need at least 2 more of these, but let's go ahead and make 4. There we go. Exactly what I needed. Beautiful. I love it. So cobalt adds something called lightweight, which speeds up your tool. And redstone uses a modifier to speed up your tool. Right now, I'm using a paper head to actually give me an extra modifier. But if I use that modifier to speed up my tool, then I'm not really gaining much. Hang on, this is supposed to be just 50. It's 50 per modifier. So this is going to give me a bonus speed of 20%, and it shows my total mining speed goes from 2.45 to 5, which seems like more than 20% to me. I'm not sure how they're doing that math. But it makes me wonder, what if I were to put in a cobalt large plate instead of the paper plate? My durability goes way up. My mining speed goes from 2.45 to 3.6. Okay, so redstone is definitely faster than just having a cobalt plate thing there. So it really comes down to, do I want speed or do I want durability? Also, wait a minute. Hang on. What was that other thing we were talking about earlier? Embossment. With a block of gold, one of each slime crystal, I might be able to get the best of both worlds. Shall we try this out? Blue slimy mud. Not a problem. Green slimy mud. Not a problem. This one, on the other hand, magma cream requires blaze powder. Blaze powder is a little more of a problem to get a hold of. We're going to need a sag mill. So we can't do that until we have a sag mill. And I don't want to start on that mod today. So we're going to save that for next time. So I think I'm going to end the episode with a little bit more exploration now that we actually have a nice fast way to get around. Yay! That makes me happy. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If indeed you have, make sure and hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, do that. And, yeah, I'll see you next time on epiktek. Ooh, that's really cool. I never noticed this before. There are some really beautiful things in Minecraft. Gotta say, this is worth bookmarking. Waterfalls. Did I already say I'll see you next time on epiktek? Well, if I didn't, there you go.